Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. With that, we're off to Arrowhead for the call from Kansas City. We'll hand it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Well, from a place that's officially been recognized as the loudest venue in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium right here in Kansas City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering
I was just going to say.
That's where I go. I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Richmond. Complete. Smith has it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So first and 10 now in Houston territory at the 32-yard line. Operating from the gun, Richmond. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. And quickly now a look at the Kansas City offense.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
On second down, it's Andrews. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd.
From the gun on 3rd down, Richmond is going to find Hill here. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. On first down, Nixon. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Here's Andrews. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago, 19 carries, 69 yards, and a touchdown.
And last week he had another touchdown to his total. He continues to be the #1 scorer in the league in terms of rushing touchdowns. And what more can you do to help your team than find the end zone?
They'll try to pound it in with Andrews. And he's going to be shoved back short of the goal line. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. Well, look now at our starting defense. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see. Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And let's look here at the Houston offense.
And they come off a tough loss last week, and what's their reward? A 2nd straight road game. Rarely are teams happy about scheduling. They're always calling the league office saying, how come we have this game and that game? But when you're coming off of a loss on the road and you go right into another one, that's a difficult task.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Off the play fake, Freeman. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They've been pretty good against the pass. Not amazing, but good. Number 13 in the league.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll get 3 up to midfield. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 24-yard line. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Now they try the right side here. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. To throw on 2nd down, Freeman. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down. And do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. And not what you're looking to do on 3rd and 1, completing the pass, but going backward.
I have zero explanation for that because 3rd and 1, you just figure snap, throw, 1st down, right? Easy play. But end up losing yardage on it. That's hard to account for.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
Now a handoff here to his running back. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. From the gun, Freeman. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. The Texans send the punter out. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down. Looking to throw. Richmond. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On the draw, it's Pollard. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. The Texans on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Freeman throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Check. Watch 54. I'm trying to collect.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Here we go. 10 logo. I'm coming after you.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got Smith here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Here we go. 60 outlaw.
They'll run on first down. Nixon. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Richmond. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Richmond under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. A big rush by the Texans, and they block it. And they will wind up with the football and the possession. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep, because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? 4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a 1st down.
Now the Texans are going to call on the field goal unit. And his kick is indeed good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Come on, baby. Let's go!
Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10.
Got it. Watch the slant. 2 times. Ready to go. You got 3 down. Say go.
The drive begins with a handoff to Andrews. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's the 2nd and 7. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Here's A.J. Cole now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 33. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. 2nd and 5. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Able to find Floyd. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He'll let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Freeman. Hard throw. Incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The Chiefs bring pressure and they block it. And they will take possession of the football just shy of midfield. Now, so much for pinning him really deep. Short punt could have pinned him inside the 10. Now great field position the other way.
It's never good when you're punting the ball and your eyes see the ball go back behind you.
No.
In however form, whether it's over your head or to the side, never good. Now it becomes a race to get to the football so they don't pick it up and take it all the way.
Come on, set, 8, read. 3 buzz.
On 1st down, Richmond. Throw left side complete. It's Warren. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Deep grip.
From the gun, Richmond throwing the out route incomplete. That's Warren. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. The open man is Smith. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. he finds a way to pick up a first down.
A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Richmond. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you get a brand-new ball game. Extra point right down the middle, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now out comes Houston. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Back to throw. Freeman. And this is Floyd, complete. Now a timeout taken.
Let's go, boys.
Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This will be fielded at the 6.
Let's go, baby. Let's
So
go.
we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Go, let's go.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Freeman. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now a handoff here to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And he gets it down to the 32. And he'll give it here to his running back. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. They'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Here's 2nd and 8. He's got the hook up to Floyd. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Freeman. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. On the ground, Andrews again. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line.
Off play action. Richmond. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Watch the run. Check it back.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
And to give this time to the tailback. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did.
He's got a man. Complete. They'll get 34 yards there. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
Now the big play pushes them all the way out to the 40 now for 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. From the gun, Freeman. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 36.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Cleverly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get the 1st here as he's taken down at the 25. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I like the look that they just showed there. When you come out in a passing formation, spread things out a little bit, makes it really hard to cover the middle of the field, doesn't it? Because you got to go out to the perimeter and cover those guys.
Yep, exactly. Got some good blocking, too. Helped him pick up the 1st.
Tackle. Kill.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Tony Pollard, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans push further out in front. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top two options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route. Worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through three. That was impressive.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. A loss of 2 there, second down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here we go on second and 12. It's complete. He finds Falk here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. The Chiefs on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's third and 1. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Call that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the third down conversion.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for first and 10. Back to throw. Richmond gets this one to Hill. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3. Second and 3. That is caught at the 7-yard line. No yardage to speak of whatsoever. Leads to a third down. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Looking to throw. Richmond to the end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that lead is back down to 9 now. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The Texans on third down. Well, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This will be 3rd and 5. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cut.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage, just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's caught. Smith. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've converted 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Richmond. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. On 4th down, Richmond. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Throwing on 1st down. Freeman completes it over the middle to Floyd. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. They tried to throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Going to give this time to the tailback. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
Set, ready, 30 base. Let's go, D. Let's go. Get it, clear.
On 1st and 10, Richmond. He's got his man. It's Andrews. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. On 4th down, Richmond. He's got his man. It's Butler. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. Back to throw. Richmond. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 1st down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
On 1st down, Richmond. Open man completes it to Butler. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Looking to throw. Richmond. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 2nd and 6.
I know most of the time when the ball...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. From the gun on 3rd down. Richmond. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. On 1st down, Pollard. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So the Chiefs now down by 11, and time, a huge factor. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down.
On the ready. 58 Mike. Yeah. Check 31, check 31. They go.
Throwing on 1st down. Richmond, open man, Butler complete. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Richmond. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back to throw. Richmond firing quickly here, and that's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and inches. That's complete to Butler. And he's got this down to the 35. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 35. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Texans, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week.